Warning: this program may contain explicit language that may be considered offensive or inappropriate to children and some adults.
The following content is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk It Out. I am your guest host, Tristan Daniels. So I'll be taking you through this evening where we will have some new panelists and kind of look up some current events. And our main topic is going to be open relationships. Are you for them? Are you against them? So we're going to go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. First, let's welcome our returning panelists. This is one of my favorite people in the world. Ricky Z is a mom, educator, and co-host on Talk It Out Sister Podcast, Geeking Out, that airs every other Monday at 8 p.m. Shameless plug, so make sure you guys check it out. Where you at, Ricky? Hey, girl, hey!
Hey!
How you feeling this evening?
Ooh, actually really good right now. Real good.
I'm excited. This is a saucy topic. I feel like you'll have lots of things to say.
I might.
We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Next, who's returning is DeAndre Henry. DeAndre is a Canadian artist and entrepreneur. You can find him on Instagram at Dre the Shadow, as well as Twitter. Out of his many ventures, he has recently started a baking business to help bring joy to people through their sweet tooth during quarantine. What's up, DeAndre?
Oh my God. How's it going? I am so happy to be here. You know, I told you I should be on the regular thing now. Like, I'm always here.
Listen, you know I fucks with you the long way.
You know. Okay, I don't think that's okay to say.
Okay, listen. Y'all know what I mean. Like, I don't mean it to be like in a vulgar way. Okay, people out there, don't do that. All right. So next are our new panelists. So first is Tippy Bell. Tippy is a nature-loving, free-roaming believer of science, critical thinking, and unconditional love. She spends the majority of her time teaching and learning from preschoolers. She is passionate about helping her students develop emotional intelligence through a heavy focus on empathy and independence. In her free time, she can be found reading, sitting in the woods, or binge watching Disney movies with her buddies. Where you at, Tiffany? Hey, girl, hey. Also,
Hey.
Tiffy is my cousin. I just want to warn
My
everyone. When I say she's my cousin, like my mom and her dad are brother and sister. It's not like that's
Legit.
my cousin. Like
we are legit.
We are legit blood related.
It's okay. I've claimed her now.
Right.
I've claimed her now.
This is true.
She's now Ricky's cousin too.
Mm-hmm.
How you
Yes,
feeling,
sir.
Tippy?
I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here, guys. This is gonna be fun. So much fun.
It is.
She is a long-time watcher, so she's seen the show. I'm happy that she's on the show because I know she always has the thoughts, and she will text me the thoughts while the show is happening.
You need to send those thoughts to the actual show, like the comments, ma'am.
Okay. Oh,
They
yeah.
get really long. My thoughts get very long.
That's okay.
Side note before we get to our last guest, guys, if you have any comments, any questions, please put them in the comment section. Share, like, all that good stuff. Y'all know how the algorithm works. We need your interaction to get more views. So finally is a new panelist, J. Jared Martin. Jay is a queer black man in an interracial relationship with a white man. He came into his queerness before he came into his blackness, and now he's very aware of the intersection of those two identities. He's a mental health enthusiast and share nuggets of advice and life lessons he's learned on his IG, Jax Chillmonger. That's JAXX Chillmonger.
What's up, y'all?
How are you, Jay? How are you doing this lovely evening?
It has been a long day. I have been up since 3:30 in the morning.
Ooh,
But you know
sir.
what? We here. We making it.
We here. We pushing through.
That's it.
All right. Well, now that we're all here, Ricky, do we want to do a commercial and then the first topic, or just go straight into the
Ooh,
first topic?
you know what? Let's go do a quick commercial break. I'm gonna do
We
that
gonna
right
pay some
now.
bills, y'all. We will be right back.
Let's do it.
Live theater is back at the Springer Opera House. The Springer Outdoor Theater Festival presents Theater Under the Stars in a new outdoor venue located on site at the Springer Opera House. From hit Broadway musicals to classic children's tales, the festival includes 7 hit shows on stage now through June. For more information, please visit springeroperahouse.org.
All right, we back. So before we get into the main topic, we got a couple of current events that we're going to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about, it's not necessarily a news story. It's kind of in general, something I've been seeing in the zeitgeist. So as you all may or may not know, we are currently in Pride Month. So shout out to all my LGBTQIA individuals out there on the panel. But if you go on the internet, you will see lots of think pieces, lots of opinions on the Twitter and social media about companies, and they're using Pride as like a marketing thing. Some people feel like it's taking advantage of the community. Some people feel like it's not. So I just want to pose the question to you guys. How do you guys feel about how currently a lot of companies celebrate or use Pride like within their space? Go ahead, DeAndre.
I bring this up so often because I'll be honest, as a model, I face that like kind of performative action by being queer and also being black. Like last Fashion Week, right after pretty much everybody was in solidarity for George Floyd, I got into a campaign for a gear brand called Nasty Pig. But since then, I have not heard back from them. Now, it's a tricky slope. I mean, I don't necessarily condemn it just because, I mean, we're going to see that performativeness when it comes to race, when it comes to gender, when it comes to people's identities, in kind of all things and source of media, especially when you watch TV and I think my commentary when I was reviewing Cruella was, oh, they just seemed to throw in a black character, and then there was this big media storm about being another first gay character in the movie as well. So I'm just like, there's definitely times when they perpetuate that narrative a lot, and it's definitely not genuine. They're definitely looking for the money out of the marketing strategy, but I mean, I'm sorry to say, but at the end of the day, it's just business.
I think my take on it is because I saw this definitely early in the pandemic, and when things with George Floyd was happening, and we had all the protest during the summer, and the thing with the black square in your profile picture, and the company saying this and that, and I'm like, okay, cool, but I peep game,
Right.
because for all those companies, and it wasn't just your favorite store or your restaurant. It's television companies, whole broadcasting. I always think of the CW. The CW it's not low rent, but they make enough money because they got that teen genre down on lock. But you're talking about showing diversity and all that stuff, but I know for a fact your writers' rooms don't show that at all. You're
okay.
It's all lip service. So yeah, you say that, but
talk about it.
And then when you think of the shows that they've had on their network, and you're like, okay, you say that. Right, you say that, but you treated this one black character that you've had for the entire series like junk the entire time. The one black character you had consistently, and you want me to believe that you're for diversity? That you understand?
Don't forget inclusion.
And inclusion? Come on now. I peep game. Y'all can say that if you want to, but unless your actions from this point on, actual actions, not your tweets, not your posts, not necessarily, unless your actions. If I see it in the writers' room, if I see it in your writing on screen. none of what you're saying matters to me right now. Like it's
Don't
all
talk
lip
about it, be
service.
about it.
Thank you. It's all lip service. Like I'm grown. I can see that now. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, I don't need to hear the term, what is it? Diversity, what is it? Inclusion and diversity. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need an inclusion and diversity team.
Right.
Just do it. Just be it. Period. We
Right.
don't have to make a whole big thing about it. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it'll show, right?
Exactly.
That's it. When it comes to Pride Month and how this comes around every year, for me personally, it all depends on the company and if this is something that they're only doing during that month, or is that something that they support year round, right? And a lot of companies will be like a portion of the proceeds. How much of the proceeds? I want numbers. Don't talk about, oh, a portion of you that could be 1%. All the queer people that came and made you all this money, and you're giving 1% back to that community. Let's talk about it.
Right. Tippy, you got a comment, concern, question?
Well, you know me. I feel the same way about Pride Month as I do about how they do Black History Month. Like, don't make us a commodity. It's as simple as that. You know, I just don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable every time.
Wait till
Do
Juneteenth.
do we, devil's advocate, do we feel like if Pride Month came around and these companies didn't like throw something up, sell something, do something, would we then be critiquing them for not participating? And then also, I agree with a lot of what you guys said, most of what you all said. On the flip side of it, I do think that there is a level of normalizing gay culture and gay things that by companies doing this kind of thing, it does normalize being gay in a sense. Because, like, I just know I've been gay for forever. I've never really been in the closet, but I can't remember when I was in high school or middle school there being, you know what I'm saying? There being pride or references to anything, let alone even if you
Sure.
watch TV. It was Will and Grace, it was Queer as Folk, and it was 6 Feet Under. Like those
L
are like the
word.
three. And
Hmm.
right, it was these handful of shows. And if we're being real, the way we saw gay people was very, it was always white people. Like the only black dude I saw that was gay on TV was literally the dude's boyfriend on 6 Feet Under. I forget his
Uh-huh.
name.
And they're always
But
dating a white guy.
and
Sorry.
they're always dating a white guy. The only exception is Noah's Ark, but I couldn't watch Noah's Ark because at the time I didn't. I think Noah's Ark either I don't know if it was on Showtime. I didn't get that channel, so I couldn't. I didn't watch it when it was
That's
on.
that primetime cable.
Okay.
I couldn't
So
pay
I
for that.
do think there is a level of normalizing gay culture that by companies pandering in a sense, it does help, younger kids kind of feel like, okay, this is normal. I do belong. It's not all bad.
Yeah, I think this comes down to the whole I can walk and chew gum at the same time type of deal. Like,
Mm,
yes, I can appreciate you like showing support in the way that you do, but I can still critique it. I can still say, okay,
agreed.
cool. I appreciate the rainbow flags in your dollar owl, but what are you doing else to support the LGBTQA community? Like, what else are you doing besides selling merchandise?
Hmm.
Because, yes, you're showing support in that sense, but you're still just mainly making money off of it. What are you doing with that money?
Right. I think when it comes down to is like if they want to use the month to highlight, here's what our company does as a whole year round, right? And we want to show that we support this community, and here's how we do it. Um, and give queer people this platform for this month to let them know that they're not alone and that this company does support them. Cool. But be doing this work year round and then just use the month of June to highlight it.
Right. I agree with that completely. I think that would be a good compromise there. Just, like, yes, we all, some folks needed that last minute flag and bandana to go to the parade real quick. So, yeah, you're going to go to the store
Facts.
and get it. That's fine. Cool. But that doesn't mean, like, you truly support the community. Like, do you really support the community? Like, what are you doing besides selling merchandise to show that you support the community?
Right. Like it
Because
really
in a
comes.
I,
lot of
I,
ways, in a lot
Go
of
ahead,
ways, it
Tippy.
makes it harder for the communities because I'm outside of the community. I'm supportive, but I'm outside of the community. So for a lot of us, it's like these companies do all of this during Pride Month, and you're like, whoa, the rainbows are here. It's in your face. It's everywhere you go. So for people who are not supportive of the community already, it's kind of like a whoa, they're bombarding me with all of this, and it's like, oh, just a few more weeks, I won't have to deal with it anymore.
Mm.
So although it helps a lot, at the same time, it can make some people still be kind of like, whoa, too much, too fast. What's happening?
That's do we I agree. That's a very good point. Do we,
So that goes
you
back to
know,
why they should do it year round. It should be a year round thing, and it shouldn't be like all these companies all of a sudden we're all rainbow colored. Look at us, and then next month everything's just back to normal.
Right.
Because then it
The
gives people
flags
a
come down. The
yes, you could
glitter's
just dismiss it
gone.
again. People
Because
could be like, oh, they're
I
gone.
think
because that
I
shit.
think it's worse.
Sorry, because those rainbow flags straight up turned into red, white, and blues in this July 1st
they
hit.
did
Thank
this
you. That's
July.
exactly what I
Talk about
mean.
it. Well,
Listen,
Oh,
along the same vein of this question, I saw a thing where there are some people. So for people who are watching who may not know, once upon a time when Pride happened, you had Pride parades. Pride parades were very adult oriented. I don't know how else to kind of like put it. Like it was
Go ahead
very
and say
much.
it.
I
Where did
mean,
y'all
it was
hang
dude.
out? Woo!
Right, it'd be dudes in like jock
Kink.
straps and
let's talk
very
about it.
heavy on the kink.
Kink.
And so
Folsom East. Let's talk about it.
there are some people in the community who feel like some people feel like it should be that way, like gay people during Pride Month should be able to have parades and express the full breadth of what the queer community entails, and part of that is kink, if we're being frank. And then some people feel like Pride parades should be family friendly things that everyone can enjoy. Go ahead, DeAndre.
so I do think there are different events that do cater to both sides of that. I've seen this argument on my Facebook. That's all I do on Facebook is post controversial shit. Like I love when people like come and argue in my comments.
You want to be messy, see?
um, but those conversations like they thrive. I thrive in them. Like I've seen people pretty much state on the fact that like Pride is a moment that we're out here doing the most because we finally have the freedom to do so. Before we used to be condemned, murdered, and such to even exist. So that was the purpose of it. But other people think that parading naked in the streets and doing all sort of obscene activity is a bit more shocking because that wasn't the purpose of the movements. There was more to, oh my God.
I know.
No, you're fine.
No, I'm just like, ooh, I got things. I got feelings. I got feelings.
No, I don't. Please, you don't run
Go ahead,
it.
DeAndre.
Run-
Oh yeah, we're gonna go to Jay and then we'll go to Ricky.
Okay. DeAndre, are you done?
Oh, yeah, run it.
Okay.
Talk about it, Jay. I feel like we're on the same wavelength here.
All right, like
I feel like
if we really want to talk about it, right, we got to talk about how Pride actually started, right? We got to talk about how Pride started, what it was actually about.
A riot.
A riot.
A riot.
A riot. Now, I don't know. All right. So my experience with Pride has always been in New York City. All right. So like I've gone to other Pride events, but when I've gone to other states and their Pride events, I'm usually going to the parade, which is very like, let's talk about how the bank has this rainbow thing up now. Let's honor the police officers who are queer. But in New York City, there's the Pride parade, but there's also the Queer Liberation March. Right. And that's what like the real people who know what's up, they're going to that because it's still very much a riot. It's still very much like, here's what they're still not giving us. Here are the people that we still need to help get to where we are. Let's help out our trans community. Let's help out this. Let's help out that. It's not about, oh, everything is rainbow and glitter and we can get married and everyone's happy now, because it's not where we are. So that's my thought.
Preach, King. Go ahead, Ricky.
Facts.
No, like that's what I was gonna
That
say
was
too.
it?
Like, I mean, like, no, because I knew we were on the same wavelength. I knew we were, but like, let's talk about that because I get it. It started to become commercialized. We just talked about like the stores and all the companies like showing their support for Pride, but y'all keep in mind, like, was it the Stonewall riots?
Yeah.
Yes. So like let's remember what it started. It started off as a riot in New York. So if anybody's gonna know what's really supposed to happen for Pride, I would assume in New York City would know more than anything. Rest in peace, Marsha P. Johnson and all that. So I'm just saying, like,
Yes.
so if you want to talk about like what should be appropriate for Pride, like y'all have to understand like the history, like how did Pride start? What was the purpose of Pride? And like keep in mind though, like the what started with Pride has been put on the back burner too. Like the fact that it was started with trans women of color.
Trans women of color.
And like we don't see that. Like for a while, like those women were pushed to the back burner. They weren't like brought into the fold. And so now like we have to remember where the foundation is in Pride.
Yes.
Just touching on that just real quick. Like,
no, go ahead.
You know, we talk about how like trans women of color, you know, have like they started it and they've been put on the back burner, and pride parades have become very, you know, cis white male specifically, right?
Okay.
Trans women of color are still being murdered at an alarming rate. So that's why things like the Queer Liberation March still exist, because we are not where we are supposed to be yet, and people are trying to act like we are. Period.
Facts. But I will say, I think you can do both. I think like there can be some events that are for families, especially now because gay marriage is legal. So you have more gay people who are married, probably have children, probably want to be able to do something with their children and families that is a little bit more, you know, PG rated, so to speak. So
heteronormative, say it.
I mean, ain't
that's what
wrong with
it is. Like, who said what family friendly was? Like,
that's actually a very good point.
Truth? Like, that's the bigger conversation that needs to be had. What is family friendly?
I think
and
you
why
got
is it defined as what easily digestible to straight white folks? That's the problem.
Yeah.
Heteronormative.
She just pulled my wig back. Okay, bitch. Yeah, I agree.
But, you know, I'm on her note because I mean, especially because censorship has changed so much to cater to that audience. Like, we don't know where that place is anymore. Even today, like, we'll go from a point to people talking about I'm going to be out here doing what I want, but then cancel culture is ruining that same thing at the same time. So it's like, I don't understand what's family friendly anymore because we don't even know where we're safe and what is appropriate. They choose every damn day, honestly.
Well, I mean, like, listen, if you feel comfortable taking your children to like an event or a march where there is like kink on display, like men in jock straps, the things. Listen, get your life. Me personally, if I had children, I'd be a little bit more raw with my children. Like, I would not mind taking them. I would explain it to my kids. But I understand someone who says, you know what, that ain't for, you know,
sure, that
ain't for my kids. I need something a little more, you know, PG, for lack of a better term.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, do we want to pay another bill and come back?
Are you ready for like the main topic already?
Oh, no. Oh, so I didn't listen. My bad, y'all. I thought we was gonna do a commercial after every little topic.
No.
We can move right on into the next thing. It's cool. Yeah. Okay, so the next topic is, so I don't know if you guys have seen in the news, but Mr. Kanye West has allegedly moved on in his life to the model Irina. I can't say her last name. I'm not gonna even sit up here and butcher this girl's last name. Y'all can Google her name. She's this white lady who's a model. So my question to you guys is, how long is too long to wait after you break up or divorce? Because some people are saying,
oh my God,
this seems very
I am ready for
this. Go ahead, DeAndre is ready. Go ahead, bro. Don't let me stop you. Get your life.
So I have a lot to say here because we're dealing with so many different things when it comes to Kanye. First of all, Kanye is crazy. He needs mental health support. Boom. He needs to back up. Secondly, I don't think anybody can dictate when anybody else is ready, first of all. So your opinion on that, back the hell up. Because I mean, I go with the flow at all times. And right now, I went from breaking up with somebody April 2nd to now seeing somebody today. And I feel perfect,
Oh, you was
content,
single
and
and hit me
comfortable.
up, DeAndre? Really?
Okay,
You was
well,
single and didn't hit me up? Fuck you, bruh. I'm just
Tristan, Duryea is not here. We can't do this behind his back. Don't do that. Stop. So, like I'm saying, I think
I'm sorry. I had to.
I
The
live.
drama.
So I believe. Wait, where's my man? Okay, so I
Don't
believe. I believe that Kanye moving on, it's his own choice, and we really can't have an opinion on it. But, I mean, all the best to him. I hope that he is being supported by this new girlfriend. Like, I hope that she sees that, you know, maybe he needs those like type of support. I think in the past when he was with Kimberly, she
we
honestly
stand.
did a lot for him, and I don't think a lot of
Now,
people know that.
just a little background before y'all all comment, because I want to give a little bit background to the audience, and if y'all don't know. So, Arena, this model, she didn't just meet Kanye just now. Like,
Right.
she is in his video, she's in the Power video, she's walking his fashion shows, he's mentioned her in songs, so this is not just a random new person. There is some type of history there.
Oh,
Go ahead,
so like,
Jay.
so like how he was seeing Kim while he was with Amber. Sorry.
Girl, you want to be messy today. See, you want to be messy.
I'm sorry. The Kardashians don't like choose the right.
I mean, I understand
ones, I
that,
guess.
but like, you know, it's
Tristan Thompson.
Child. Ricky and DeAndre chose violence today. Go ahead, Jay.
every day, all day.
Go ahead.
So hold on. I think. Wait. Just so much. Okay. First, when it comes to Kanye, we all know that we are dealing with someone who has mental health concerns. We're not going to use the C word. Okay.
Crazy.
I also
sweetie.
feel
What's the
like
C word?
Crazy.
Oh, okay.
Say crazy.
I'm sorry.
Say crazy.
No shade, but no, I think.
So he agrees.
We have to think
Tink,
about
stop,
the fact
sweetie.
that one, we don't know exactly what the end of their relationship looked like, right? We see as much as they let us see, you know, being celebrities, right? So that's number one. Number two, we also have to think about their age, right? Like, think about where they are in their life, and do they want to like do the dating thing, and they know what they want in their life at this point. And so somebody is showing that they're ready and the other person is ready, then boom, let them do what they got to do.
Exactly.
And the end of the marriage is not the same as the end of the romantic relationship. Like,
Exactly.
your romantic relationship itself
Mm.
could have ended a year or two ago, for all we know.
Oh
They've been
my
living in
God.
separate states. So
Right.
let him live his best life.
You
Let him live.
Oh my God, let me echo off that, please, because
Go
I
ahead,
know what
DeAndre.
she's saying. I was in a relationship, and like the second half of our relationship, we weren't in love. It was just trugging along, like.
But then, devil's advocate, just real quick. I think sometimes what can happen is, and I've seen this hasn't happened to me necessarily, but I've seen it happen with other people where one person has checked out of the relationship. Like, they checked out.
It's definitely one time, yeah.
They checked out, and the other person is still very much there trying to make it happen and trying to make it work. For the person who checks out, maybe it doesn't seem like maybe it felt like a long time when they get someone new because they had already checked out 4 months before the actual breakup happened. But for the person who was in the relationship and was legitimately in it, it feels sudden to them, because for them, they were there in it. I wasn't looking for nobody else. I was trying to make what we had work. I'm not saying this happened with Kim and Kanye. I don't know the details. I'm just saying that that's something that I've seen happen with friends of mine, where there's one person like Was that you, DeAndre? Were you the one that was there, or did you do that?
I was there. I was here.
No.
Okay, I was in it.
And also let's remember, these people have children, and I think when you have children, there is a different. You can't approach dating the same way.
Sure can.
Hmm.
I don't know if this arena girl has met his children, but I
Hopefully not.
do.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But I think the
I
problem
hope
is
not too.
the issue is especially for North because North's a older young kid. I think she's like what 7, 8, 9. Like
She's
she's
like
old enough to
9.
have a. She can be online. So even if she hasn't met Arena, she can go online and see that her father is
What are
dating this
those?
girl.
These are
Yeah.
hoes. What are those? These are hoes. What
The
are
violence.
those? I'm sorry.
Wow.
No, you're
I'm
She's
fine.
sorry.
she's old enough to tell your business. That's what it is.
She
She's
really
old.
can't. Oh.
So
And come for you for it.
I would hope at minimum if Kanye is dating this arena girl that they've had a conversation with North about, not only their parents separating, but mommy and daddy are going to see new people. You may meet new people, and I don't have kids, so I don't know how to have that conversation and what
Yeah.
that's like. Ricky, that's your vibe.
The trick to this is being honest and communication. So,
Hmm.
um, we'll get to this more when we get to the main topic, though. But like
Yeah.
when you're talking about introducing new folks to your kids, like for me, I at some point I would be very hesitant to introduce anybody new to my children. So I've been separated for 2 years now. But like I haven't dated, which is fine by me. I've been happy living by myself and have nobody else in my space except for my children. But if I were to, get into dating, I don't want to bring like different people in and out of my children's lives like that because that's not fair to them. They like my oldest, she doesn't know a stranger. She loves you after the first hour, especially if you bring her a gift or something.
Hmm.
She likes people. She's very social, and so to have folks come in and out of the kids' lives, like I'm not okay with that. So I'm going to be careful about who I introduce to my children if they are a significant other. But that's communication that you have to have between you and the other parent because while you might feel that way, they might not think anything of it because it's just, well, I like this person and I want to immediately integrate them into my life or whatever reason, and then my kid's talking about, well, I met so and so. Who's that? Oh, so and so's friend. Okay, and like, why do you know this person? Like, so like you have to be considerate of the fact that your children are meeting new people and considerate of person that you're co-parenting with. So hopefully they have. I don't know what deal Kanye is in right now. Like, Big Papa fascist Andrew, he mentioned, like Kanye is able to get women simply because of his status. So we don't
I mean,
know,
true.
right? We don't know what the foundation of that new relationship is, and
And
we don't.
people,
Uh,
and people, I've heard people. I don't know Kanye personally, but from my understanding, when you're with Kanye one on one or like small groups, Kanye's a dope person.
right.
Like I've heard
Yeah.
famous person say they hung out with like Kanye invited me to his house, just me and him, and we kicked it and talked about this and did this, that, and the third. So he may whereas he may seem kind of crazy because he's performing for the world when we kind of see him, he may be a completely different person when it's just one on one or in a romantic situation. Because I know me on here and kikiing with you guys or hanging
Mm-hmm.
out with my friends is different from me if I'm with a guy that I'm interested in. Because if
Right.
I like you, I'm gonna bring a little bit of a different energy, or hopefully you bring a different energy out of me. If you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but like we can't ignore the history of mental illness because
Oh, of course,
right. Like
that's the thing.
that's a thing. That's a stated fact. We know this.
And I want everyone to be very, very clear. Kanye suffers from mental issues and mental illness. Like, I don't think anyone's disputing that. He's not disputing that. Like, bruh,
Right.
no, he ain't.
Right.
But I don't want us to just because he's suffering from mental illness doesn't mean that he can't date or have
Right.
personal relationships, etc.
But
So
I think it takes a special consideration. Like you have to think about these things though when you're
Before you
getting
start.
right before if
Mhm.
I if if I am just going based off of what I hear in the media, whatever I've heard in the show, what I've heard from their statements on online, and if I'm getting involved with Kanye, I'm going to tread with caution. Simply because I'm aware of his mental health. I'm not gonna be completely ignore him, but I need to be cognizant of this and move lightly, move with caution.
Go ahead, DeAndre.
So just addressing that comment by Lance Johnson, dating somebody who has kids is a way different ball game. I think it's definitely iffy because the person who is the parent to the kids, like you said, Rakia, they and let's say the co-parent are supposed to address that to the children, make sure they understand the situation. Now, the person entering a relationship with one of these parents, they have to also assess within themselves: are they ready for that type of
They
arrangement? Are
sure
they
do. Yes.
interested in that
Yep.
connection? Like I don't think anybody can now, let's say for example, Rakia, you start dating somebody else and like they are like, oh no, I don't want kids. What are they gonna do? That's your life. Like, so if
Mm.
they want to be with you, they better either compromise or get with the program or bounce. Like, so it's not really fair to say you can't get mad if the kids like start texting you or something like that. They want to know who you is. You're the new Esper among the house. Like, you're part of the life.
But
Hmm.
you, but
I
that
think
takes communication though, because you have to. If so, if for someone, if you're the one that's coming into the relationship with someone that is a parent, I think you also have to do some self reflection. Be like, okay, do I want to
Yep.
get involved with someone that has kids? Number two is someone with the parents. You need to have that conversation with them. Okay, my time and my perspective is different because I am a parent. So like my time, I'm maybe not necessarily devote that to my kids, but like I have time with my kids that are for my kids. I am
Right.
not single. I'm not just like a single like do whatever. I have no responsibilities. I clearly have these living responsibilities right here that I have to take care of, and so you have to find a way to factor yourself into that in a way
Mhm.
I
that is easy transition.
I think also too. I'm gonna just tell my business for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think also it's not just can you handle someone who has kids? Can you handle the kind of children that they have? Because
Mm.
my mom remarried, and my stepdad has 4 children, so he obviously was fine with children. All of his children were grown and adults when my stepdad and mom got married. But I don't think my stepdad was ready or equipped to deal with a kid like me, because I'm not regular. I wasn't raised regular. So I think sometimes it's not just about them having kids. Can you deal with someone who has a gay child? Can you deal with someone who has a special needs child? Can you deal with someone who
Mhm.
who has a child who may be a little bit more adult in terms of how they speak, how they talk, how they maneuver in the world? There's a lot of layers to that I think people don't think about. It's not as simple as, oh, I think I can handle someone with kids. No, can you handle their
That
type of
kid,
child, that
that
specific
kid.
child?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go ahead, DeAndre.
Because you know exactly what you're saying. Behind me right here, I was watching The Chai, and a mother of two ends up actually dating a woman, and then like she even at the wedding proposes to the woman and like also addresses the children. Like she's not just dating the wife; she's dating her kids. Like that like she has this direct connection to them, and she's trying to be a part of a not just a family, but create like that relationship among all three of them. Like that's something you have to be prepared for. And you right,
Mm-hmm.
like I'll be honest, I don't play with people's kids. I'm ready for my own, but I like some behaved children because if they're not, I'm just like,
And then you got to deal with how that person parents their kids because you might not
Hmm.
think of
yes.
parenting the same way they do, and so like you're you're going into something that's already established
Not to
here.
mention, people always have an issue with baby mama drama. Like, you also have to deal with the co-parent. Like, there's so much more. Like, you have to be
Right.
Yeah.
ready for this scenario.
Yep. That's the thing. Like, it's not just you and the other person. No, it's you and
Hmm.
the other
Nope.
person. Their kids.
It's a
Their
whole
kids are the
family.
parent. Their kids other parent's family. Like you got to
Yes.
be prepared to do with more than just I just met this person online and they're cool. We're gonna hang out. No, they
Hmm.
already got something established that you're stepping into.
Tippy,
And that's why
you
people
mighty
should ask
quiet over
questions.
there. Oh,
Because
never
you
mind.
know,
Here you go.
I have to take it all in. I have to take it all in
Mm-hmm.
because that's why people should ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're
Mm,
dating
period.
someone with kids, it's not just their responsibility to prepare. their child to meet you, you need to prepare yourself to meet their child. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you're dating somebody with a kid, it should be a red flag if they want to take you around their child after a few weeks.
Mm.
That
Boom.
should not be
Agreed.
something that makes you go, oh my gosh, you're really into me. This is awesome. No, that's a problem. That's not normal. So,
Thank
you
you.
know, that's a red flag. Also, you need to ask, so how do you discipline your child? Like if your child just looks at me and goes, I don't like her, she's stupid. What are you going to do in that moment? Those are conversations you need to have before you meet these children.
I
Also, what's your relationship with the other parent? How do y'all co-parent? Is there tension there? Like, I don't want to be in the middle of all of that. So you need to get all of that out of the way
Period.
before you move forward because you don't want to get in a year and then you realize, yo, this kid is really bad.
Like if that's not
Like,
coming out in the text messages, that has to at least be brought up first date, second date. Like I'm like, no
facts.
way, no way. I'm just gonna walk into your home when you finally invite me over. Oh, hi, little Jamal. Like, wait.
Hmm.
you know? So, yeah.
And
All
and
right.
that.
Well, y'all,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead. No,
Well,
go
it's
ahead.
so it's not even just that though. Like, but like, what is the expectation? What is your responsibility when it comes to the children? Do you have any responsibility
Yes.
at all? So, like, are you a year into this relationship and that person is expecting you to watch their kids for whatever reason?
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Do the kids even
okay?
know you? Are you ready for the kids? Are the
Right? Are
kids
you are
interested
you
in you?
are you
Am I
ready
picking
for?
up the kids from school?
Do
Like,
you
what's
want that
happening?
responsibility? Is that
Does
discussion
the
been
school know
have
I'm coming to pick them up?
right? Things like that. Because let me tell you, you can as an elementary school teacher, no random person can just come to the school and pick up the
You have to be
kids.
a signed
That
guardian.
part.
You got to be on the papers, and if that parent is not the registering parent, no, ain't nobody just gonna be randomly able to pick up your kids
Dude,
like
I
that.
remember those days because when my mom divorced her husband, she took him off the list and he tried to steal her out of school. It was a dramatic day.
I'm
Like,
Ooh,
I'm just saying
child.
like I'm
Not
the
steal her.
look I'm the registering parent for my two kids. They go to school where I work at,
Oh,
so
oh,
mhm.
and one
right,
more
Oh,
thing. One more
right,
thing.
let's go.
right. Go ahead.
That's super important. Getting involved with somebody with kids, you develop a relationship with their kids, and then you don't like them anymore.
Mm,
And you're like, I want to break up
Ooh.
with you, but I really like your children. Because I've been in that situation
Oh,
Ooh.
before
yes.
where I loved his kids, but I couldn't stand him anymore. So
Oof.
that's something you
Right.
have to think
And
about,
they
that
you
get
know?
that one
attached to
right there,
you.
Right.
that one's
Oh,
Well, you
spicy.
have
Oh
to be
no,
like
because
sure before you introduce your kids to any old
because
body.
exactly because I think dating somebody, the kids don't meet them right away for sure. But like then when it comes to break, I mean, kids go through enough trauma dealing with like their parents' divorce, having to deal with now said so person now being added to the situation, and then having to exit because things didn't work out. They have to deal with that trauma too, and I think they have to view like I think growing up as a kid, you're gonna see your parents dating and be like, so how does dating work? You're gonna see your parents like this relationship fail, and that's gonna affect you growing up.
I think it's. I think if you have. I think if you have older children, it's a little bit more okay to kind of. If you just want to.
Um,
And when I say older, I mean like if you have like high school age kids,
yeah, they
maybe
got a lot
even
of
like
attitude.
if you have eighth grade, like eighth grade age level kids, I think parents can be a little bit more free and open with how they
Hmm.
date because I think at that point, those some a kid that age can understand. Okay, sometimes you
Right.
casually date, sometimes things are serious. I think if you have small children, you can't introduce someone too quick because small children get more attached easily, and then if
Mm-hmm.
you break up with them, it's ruined this kid's world because now you're divorced. You brought this new dude in. He's gone. Now
Hmm.
they feel like there's no stability there, if that makes
But,
sense.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I can
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
say that affects heavy in high school. Like, I mean, even when my mom started dating the guy she married, I was about in, I think, the seventh grade. And I never accepted him. I never thought he was good enough for her. I never was willing to
Same
accept him.
king. Same
And,
fuck them
you
niggas.
know, and I remember my mom actually asking me these questions when she was like getting married, like, are you okay with this? Do you like what do you feel about it? Girl, I lied. I wanted her to be happy.
Wait.
And
She was asking you this as she was getting married. Like, wait a
no,
minute.
no, 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 no. Like when she like dating the guy.
Okay, I'm like, it's the
Okay,
wedding day. She's asking.
Right. Are you texting me down the aisle how I
bro,
feel about the situation?
bro,
No.
my
Put your
pinky's
phone
the
away.
shit.
Tippy, you said you were trying to say something. Go ahead.
like the comment that had popped up from Ellen, she made a good
Here, I'll
point
put
too.
I'll put
Like
it back. I'll put it back. I'll put it back up. There it is.
if you introduce your kids to someone and your kids are like, "Nah, mommy, no," that is like an indicator that maybe this person isn't the best person. You don't have to introduce them as this person that I'm dating. Y'all could just
A
go for ice
friend.
cream, and you're like, "Yeah, this is mommy's friend, such and such." And if you notice that your friend is not kid friendly, that your children are
Right.
not warming up to this person, then it's kind of like, oh, you
I
need to
think
think
I
about
think
that.
that's a very sad thing. There's a lot of times when like somebody enters a relationship with somebody and then they force them onto their kids. They're like, "Well, I'm
Yeah.
dating them now, so you got to get used to it," or something like that. Like this is gonna be a part of our life now. Like, I feel you. I feel you. My mom didn't do that to me, but I feel you. I see that in television all the time. Like,
I mean, I want to, and I just want. I don't want because I don't want to like drag my mom. My mom. I love my mom. I don't want to drag her on like the internet. But I
I love
will
you, mom.
say, I do. I love my mom. My mom knows I love her to the moon and back. We have a great relationship. I think if I can think of the one mistake my mom made, like when I was a child, I think my mom got with and married somebody who she knew like there was never any like we didn't get along, we didn't like each
Hmm.
other. I didn't understand him, he didn't understand me. I didn't speak his language, he didn't speak mine. I've
Oh,
gotten
child.
older so I can okay. I've gotten older so I can understand okay, he's this way because of how he grew up and things that have happened to him. And I can relate to him more because I'm older, but just like I remember I like being in high school, I couldn't, I'm like, why did she marry this nigga? Like we don't like each other. He don't
We
like
had
me.
conversations about it.
Right. We've discussed it. And I remember one time, y'all, I'm telling all my business, I don't even care. One time my mother looked me in my face and said to me, I expect more from you than I do from him. And I'm like, what the fuck? How
I'm the
the fuck you
child.
expect I was like 14, I think.
Right,
And
I'm
this
the
bitch
child.
really
What do you mean?
what are you talking? But she genuinely felt that way because my mom raised me to be a certain way, and if we're being, my stepfather was raised.
Mm.
Child,
Differently.
let me stop
Let's just
differently,
say
and we'll leave it at
differently.
that.
No, but I can definitely follow
Differently.
that. I can follow that just because, like, I mean, growing up, my dad wasn't a parent in my life. My dad would literally pop up once in a blue moon and come buy me McDonald's and be like, "I love you," and then that was my relationship with my father. Like,
Is your dad Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Okay.
I remember there was a guy that my mom was dating. So like my mom, I feel like my mom did a good job about like not introducing me to any old body that she might have been seeing. It had been like probably a few months before like she introduced me to this person. But there was one that she dated that I did not care for. I'm not. I don't know why I did not care for him. But for at some point there was at some point where she was like, "We might move to Florida where this guy lives," and I'm like, granted,
Literally.
like I was like in fifth or sixth grade when this was happening. I don't think I've ever actually told her about
that
this. So
ruins a kid's life,
so
first of
sorry,
all.
mommy, if you're watching. But like, but and she probably knows exactly what I'm talking about too. But like, you know, I think we spent like a holiday at his place in Florida, which made me angry because we normally go to my hometown where my dad is, and so like I missed that opportunity. So like I don't like this dude. This dude's kind of pushy. I don't really, I'm not really feeling this dude. I never said anything because like that's just me. I'm not gonna say nothing about
Mhm.
it. But like the possibility of like moving to Florida with this dude.
So,
Luckily
dude,
we didn't. We
that's
didn't, but luckily.
that's super interesting because you're doing that at 13. I was about like, let's say 2, 3. Like, when you're a kid and you walk around, you can talk, and you're certain, you're a little bit like actually aware and stuff like that, and you actually have some of those memories. So my mom was dating like the tallest man in Canada. He was a basketball player, um,
He was a Raptor player. Like the
and
Raptors.
we were all like, we were finna move to Atlanta with the man. Now, as an innocent 3-year-old child, I was just like, yeah.
Right, where we going?
And then, like, I remember when we were in Atlanta, in our house, right? Or it was a hotel or whatever. And I must have one time, he was like watching sports or sometime. And I probably walked up to him and asked him to open a bag of chips for me. Tell me how he slapped me across the face
No.
because
No.
I was interrupting his
No.
shit. And you know what? That was even the end of my mother's relationship with him. That, like, after then, like, maybe there was an argument. I don't remember. I remember one time when we were in the hotel or whatever, we went to the gym downstairs. I was a kid. I tried to play on the treadmill and I bust my ass. Um, and then it wasn't until we came back to Canada sometime after, because like SARS pandemic, etc., blah blah blah. So like we were trying to get back home, and they were giving us trouble, blah blah. But then that relationship finally ended, and I remember being like 4 years old, about to go to school, and like it really, I don't know, I wouldn't say triggered, but like I saw the red light in my head in these moments. It was, I don't even know how to
That was the red
explain
flag.
that.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
I
Well,
didn't
yo,
like
on that,
anybody. I didn't like
go
anybody my
ahead.
mama brought home. I was that kid. Everybody that came, I was like, why is he here? What are you doing?
Who
He
is
dated
this?
like maybe 3 other dudes besides my dad. And each one, it was just like, who are you, dude? Like, why
Harpo,
are
who's
you
this?
here? You are not my daddy.
But
Well,
I want to say this one last thing though. I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
Tristan, but
No, go
like
ahead.
to Ellen's comment though, like, do you have a relationship with your children to where they feel comfortable telling you your feelings about someone that might make them happy in whatever form? So that that's also part of the parenting. Like, yes, parents have to trust their kids' feelings, but do they have a relationship or do they have a bond to where like the kids feel comfortable being open about how they feel? Do they have those conversations? Do they ask questions about those things with with their kids for them to feel comfortable enough for that child to actually like be honest about their feelings and their intuitions, because they do have intuitions even at a young age.
Preach the
I mean, a lot of
preach
times,
the
like
word of
myself,
God.
like growing up
Go
as
ahead,
like a
DeAndre.
black kid, there wasn't a lot of times as a black man I had the opportunity to express feelings or even like experience them, because I mean, we were raised to boys don't cry. Like, come on. So there's a lot of times where we would avoid it. And I mean, not to say, like, I'm not saying this is a wrong part of my mom, but though she was always there for me, like my mom was my best friend growing up. Um, I didn't exactly have those moments with her, because like I would, let's say, get bullied at school and be fine, and then come home and just shelter myself in that safe environment. Those things wouldn't come up. Um, so it's very different, because I feel like, to like I was saying, some parents might force a relationship on their kids now, but to like have to choose a relationship, like let's say you've been developing for like 6 months with somebody, here's my kids don't like you, and now you have to like
Mm,
end the relationship of the person you just fell in love with because of your
mm.
kids. I'm sure that's an entirely hard choice, and at the same time, by nature, a lot of humans just choose themselves. They like, we're gonna want to be happy too, even
Yeah.
if we see those
Facts.
signs. And love is that major thing that we yearn for. So like, we
Love makes
can't.
people crazy.
Exactly. Shoot.
Yo, on that note, because I think it's a very great point. Like, it's a very great point. We gonna pay one more bill, and then we gonna come back with the main
Come
topic, the
on,
sauce, the
Billups.
spice.
Let's do it.
Those were very nice bundles. So y'all go pick up that hair from that girl, because those were chef's
Doing it
kiss.
right.
All right,
I
so
might have to.
let's get into the main topic of tonight, open relationships. So before
Hell
we
yeah.
all start talking and stuff, I want to just kind of do a quick, so everyone who's watching kind of knows where everyone is on this thing. How many
Okay.
people, raise your hand on the panel if you have been in or participated in some type of open relationship. Oh, oh bitch,
Come
I've not.
on.
Good for y'all. Okay, raise your hand if you are currently in a open relationship or some type of open relationship.
I couldn't say
Ooh,
that.
child. Okay. All right. So that's what we are. I'm gonna start because I'm hosting. I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna be real. I don't know. Like, I'm just not. It's cool if that's what the people want to do. I'm not judging. I'm just saying over here, at the Church of Tristan Jarrell Daniels in apartment A143, we don't be fucking other motherfuckers.
That's not your ministry,
period.
So
Tristan.
Tristan, we might never work out.
Like, I don't.
Tristan,
I
we
don't.
might never work out.
We won't, because I don't. And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why.
Well, tell us why. Yeah. Tell us why.
Because when I've dated, I personally have never felt the desire to be with somebody else. When I was with somebody, I was with them. I enjoyed being with them immensely. Second of all, I ain't no prude motherfucker. Like, I be fucking. Like, if I do the things of the things of the things.
Yeah.
Okay, all the
Yes,
things,
where they at?
multiple
For
times a
real.
day. No shame. No, I have no shame. I don't give a fuck. I like sex. So listen, we fucking if we together. The only time, the only kind of open relationship I may consider is if I dated a guy and he wanted to have sex with other women, and that's only because I don't have things that women have. So if that's something that you crave, I can't. I genuinely can't do that for you or give that to you. Everything else, I can and do bring to the table. So I don't know. So we'll do. You know what? We'll go to Jay, then DeAndre, then to the girls.
All right.
Women,
okay.
excuse me. I'm sorry.
Ooh. And
It's like,
he said, "I'm a what?" No. Okay. So you said something really important there, and you said, you know, like you would allow, you know, your partner to go and hook up with women because you don't have those parts, right? You can't give him
that experience.
And I am very much, and this is one of the reasons that I'm in an open relationship, because I used to feel the same way that you did, right? I was very avidly against open relationships. I didn't know what it would entail, whatever. What is in my eye, Lord God? I am of the belief that trying to make your partner be everything for you is way too much pressure to put on one person. Trying to make your partner be your best friend, your therapist, the best sex you've ever had, you know, X, Y, and Z is way too much pressure to put on one person. You could have everything going for y'all, right? You know, you're having a great time together, but one thing isn't going right. And for whatever reason, you can't figure out why. That is not a reason to not be with that person. You can find that other thing from somebody else. And
can
not
I ask
have
you a
that
question?
take away from your relationship. Sure, yeah.
Specific about your relationship, and I'm going to ask you guys all this, so just be prepared. Specifically within your relationship that you're currently in, when you say open, you guys can both have sex with other people. You guys bring other people in to have sex with you guys together. Like, what's...
Sure.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the rundown?
All right, so every open relationship has their own set of rules. Every open relationship is as unique as people are unique, right? So for my relationship, we are allowed to have sex with other people. We will have sex with people together. We'll do swaps with other couples. The rules are ask permission first.
Boom.
Right? And if your partner wants to know more about the situation, you have to tell them about the situation. Those are our rules. So if there's a night where my boyfriend is out, right, and he ran into this dude and this dude is talking to him real smooth and he really wants to go for it, he shoots me a quick text and say, hey, you know, are you cool if I go and hook up with this guy? And I turn around and say, you know what? I'm in a mood. I was kind of hoping you would come home and we could do the do. And we have that conversation, right? Right? And then it's either he's going to tell me what he wants to do. We have a quick conversation about it. And then we're happy because it's all about communication. If you don't have high communication in an open relationship, it is not going to work.
No.
Church. DeAndre, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I want to leave one of my statements for later. But again, like to echo off of that, communication is the number one thing. Because I think I've been in 2 relationships that were supposed to be monogamous, and they ended up being open to suit the situation. The first time I was monogamous with somebody, and I mean, I'm pansexual. I get around. And to me, sex does not equate to love. And I mean, that one boyfriend I had, we had the greatest connection. We had everything going on, but we were both tops in the beginning of the relationship. He eventually started bottoming for me, but yeah, I wasn't up
Good
to
for
it.
her.
Okay.
And because like I don't know, it was like I think somewhere down the line, before I fell out of love with him, I actually told him that I was like craving some vagina, and
Not
he
craving.
said, "Girl, go get it." So I went to one of those parties that you do in college, and I was like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" And shit went down, and from then
party is
on, we had a flow that like we always had our own thing. And for me in an open relationship, like me and Jared resonate. Like we could have those exterior things if it's necessary and if it's comfortable. Those things are communicated. Those are permission. Like it's not like I'm hiding what I'm doing on the side. But for me, like the relationship, the like because this isn't polyamorous. Like the relationship I'm having with this person is at home with them. So like the love, the devotion, the emotion, like that the actual like let's say the therapy,
So
that investment is with them.
so to be clear, because I want to make, so you're saying that you and your partner, you guys could go and have sex with other people, but you could not have like full on like
romantic
relationships or
relationship.
romantic
We definitely
relationships in
we
the
had
relationship.
great sex, but I fucked him a couple times, and
But
I
you
just
guys didn't go.
wasn't down to bottom. Yeah.
But you didn't go outside of your relationship, and you didn't go outside of your core relationship and have other relationships with people outside of
No.
Right,
just
So
that's
him.
polyamory. That's different.
Right,
I've
that's
had
different.
previous polyamory situations, but
But
in
that
these
wasn't
ones,
this.
no. Like even my previous relationship, that one started monogamous, but it was also long distance. My boyfriend was in New York City, and
Oh, girl.
I mean, long distance is comfortable for me. We talked every fucking day. That's my bestie. And he, but like out whenever like I wasn't in New York City, I was like I remember times where I was like, if you want to get your nut, just download Jack, say what's up, like do your thing. And I mean, he was never for that like idea of sharing things. And I remember I knew he wasn't willing for those type of things. And I remember through our entire relationship, even though I gave him that allowance, and then he actually eventually told me to do the same. I never did, and I knew
Okay.
that because I knew like if it was a situation where if he knew I had sex with somebody else, he'd get pissed off, and I knew he was not comfortable with that, even though it was that communication we had. And I never wanted to do that to him because what we had was so concrete.
Let me hold on one second.
So
I want to go to
shoot
I want to go to Ricky because, girl, I know you got the tea,
the
and then we'll go to
faces.
Tippy. Go ahead, Ricky.
Ooh.
So my experience with the one open relationship. So you mentioned like sometimes those are that situation is brought up due to the other person already doing the things, and then they're wanting to not feel guilty about doing the things. So like if you're doing the things and they're already doing the things, then no one's in the wrong here. But no, so like you're basically, but you're still bringing up the open relationship in a conversation under false pretenses. So,
You're trying to fix bad behavior you already done,
right,
and trying to make it
exactly,
That's
okay.
different.
exactly,
Yeah.
yes. So that's my experience. So like when that person brought it up, we were in a dry spot, and I understood, and like I also understood like there are things that I, like you mentioned before, like there are things that I cannot provide for that person, and that's okay. And I've always been honest with the person, like if this is not what you want, or this is something that there's something different that you want, let me know, and we can figure it out. Like whether I need to get my ducks in a row and do what I need to do. Andre, come on now.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
But like either I can get my ducks in a row and we can figure this out and we can move on, or we can work things out. But if you're not honest with me, if you're not truly honest with me about what it is that you want, then it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. So this I'm trying to be PC about this. Sorry if I.
You're fine, girl.
Okay. So it happened. I and it's under the pretense of it's supposed to be purely sexual, but they're starting these relationships and their relationships like giving the other person money.
Fuck to the no.
They're being extra lovey-dovey, doing
Get
some shady things, introducing them to certain dependents that they don't need to be introducing them to.
That's a whole side piece.
Right.
Okay.
That's an entanglement. Excuse me.
So when things started to come to a head, and then things started to come out, you know, it was like, okay, so clearly this was something that was purely for your benefit because you were doing something that you knew that wasn't okay. And instead of being honest with me about what you wanted, and you know, their thought was like, well, I didn't really know what I wanted. I didn't know if I wanted this or this. No, you knew what you wanted, but you knew that if whatever you wanted was going to mess up what you already had.
Talk about it.
So
emotional manipulation.
There was a lot of that. There was a lot of that, and so that affects how I engage with them now. Like we're okay right now, but
you can't trust them the way you want to.
Right, and that's hard because we're in a situation where I need to be able to trust them. And you can take that however. If for those that know me and are watching, and they're putting two and two together.
Girl, we know the tea. Well, we know some of the tea.
Right. So if you want more, y'all know how to reach me. But I'm just saying,
my cup is empty, and I would like some tea.
Right.
I would really love to refill this.
I'm just saying. So like when I say dependence, you
child, y'all listen. If you grown and do taxes, you know what that is. Tippy, Tippy friend. It's on you. How you feel? What is your experience with open relationships?
Okay, so I gotta choose my words carefully. Give you a moment.
Spill the tea.
Okay, so I'm monogamous. Like whether I'm in an open relationship or not, I'm monogamous. I can only have sex with one person at a time, based on my spiritual and emotional needs.
Ooh, yes,
I'm also the type of person where I need my space. Like if I'm living with a significant other, we need separate bedrooms. Like you can sleep in my room, I can sleep in your room, but we still need separate bedrooms.
I like that.
So I also don't believe in owning another person. Like people should be free to express themselves and do what they want to do. So if my partner is like, hey, I want to go out and do XYZ, you do you, as long as you're honest about it. The issue comes when you're not honest about it and you're not honest about your intentions with it.
Yes.
But as long as you're honest, you can do whatever you want to do and I'll be in my room minding my business. But my experience with being in an open relationship, it didn't turn me off to open relationships, but it just made me really value the communication part. Because even though it was open, he could do what he wanted to do as long as we communicated about it. He still chose to lie. He still chose to cheat. So if we've discussed it, and I've already told you, you can do what you like. Just let me know so I know how to conduct myself within our relationship, and you still choose to go out and do things you shouldn't be doing with people you shouldn't be doing it with and hiding things, that's a problem. Because that means that our relationship isn't the issue. That's the issue you have within yourself. Like you as a person, you're damaged.
Boom.
So we can't be together.
Go ahead.
It's simple as that.
Right. Because you're going outside of the agreement, whether your agreement is monogamy, whether your agreement is open, you decided to step out of the agreement, therefore you were in the wrong.
It's a trust issue at that point. And that's it's not about the sex, it's not about, whatever. It's not about, it's a trust issue, right? Oh God, you said something a second ago about like, I don't believe that people should own other people. And I feel like that's what it really comes down to in a lot of these relationships is like, you feel like you own this person. You feel like that person is your property. So them going off and giving themselves to another person is like, not a turnoff. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's like offensive, So it's just like, I don't want to feel like I own anybody. The part of my brain that finds other people attractive and it's just going to magically turn off because we're starting a relationship. But as long as you can have open communication about what you're looking for and what you're thinking about, everything should be fine. So I don't understand why somebody would go off and still feel the need to lie and hide stuff when you've already talked and set that communication.
Because, and DeAndre, I got you. I'm coming to you next.
Thank you.
Because no, you good. I got you.
His arm will get tired.
Because for some people, it's not. At least from what I've seen, I haven't experienced this personally, but it's not even about sleeping with somebody else, or it's the lying and doing and scheming and shit that they get off on. Like they legit.
On that,
we have one second. I have a homeboy. I ain't gonna say who it is because I don't want to say this. But long story short, he had a husband. They were married, a gay couple, and his husband took him to Atlanta. They went out with this other couple, got super drunk, and then my friend passed out. Later on, he found out that his husband had plotted with this couple to bring my friend up there, purposely get him so drunk that he would pass out so that his husband and the couple could have a threesome. Now, my friend is not like, he's not a clingy dude. His husband could have went to Atlanta and just had the threesome, and my friend would have never questioned them, wouldn't have said anything. But for some reason, you thought there was something about bringing him up there and getting him drunk and then doing it while he was there that was the turn on for you. It wasn't
the taboo of it.
Right. It was the scheming and the lying and the fuck shit that you liked. And I think that's what happens with some people that Tiffany was describing. You have permission to go fuck who you want, but you don't want to fuck who you want if it doesn't involve you lying and scheming and doing fuck nigga shit.
There's some power dynamics that you're trying to control. That's what that is.
So go ahead, DeAndre. To follow that one up, guys, do look back at episode 29, Infidelity. Addicted to cheating. We really did touch on that one. Okay. So by the way, there's so much in my heart and soul right now.
King, let it go.
Alrighty. For starters, Tippy, you brought up the fact of owning somebody, and I think a lot of people love that security in a relationship, like just simply having someone to go home to. And I mean, but the problem with this now, when it comes to an open relationships, there's a lot of people who only enter open relationships because they don't feel happy at home, or they don't have this. They don't have the certain need for commitment. Like, to follow up Lance Johnson's last comment, or earlier comment about him trying to open, he's actually my ex. And that was my last relationship. And I've known him for years. We're like best friends. I still love the dude to death. But like, our relationship was great. It just didn't work out. And I mean, he knew about me. I was always straightforward with him about how I was kind of teetering. I didn't think I was interested in the whole monogamy, and it wasn't like my energy. But he did that. He did offer that opportunity for me, and that tried out. It didn't work out. He like when
so y'all were monogamous in that relationship with him.
So it started off open, and
then went to.
I had sex with one person. Told him. He got pissed off, and I was like, "I told you, I don't need this. I just want you."
Can I ask a question? Yeah. Do you think that? And we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. Sometimes people will say they're cool with an open relationship because I love this person and I know that's what they want. And I just want to give you what you want. It's not really what I want.
There were many times in our relationship where he literally said those words. He told me that he thought that's what I wanted, so that's why he tried to make it happen. And I understood that, but I think me, addressing it from the beginning, like I was kind of like an open-minded, poly type of dude. He thought that's all I cared about. But like, honestly, the 6 years knowing him, I built this bond with him that I have not seen in any person I've ever known.
DeAndre, go ahead and get your man back. Stop fucking playing on this podcast.
Stop it right now. Stop it right now.
I'm sorry.
We're not going to do the objection. Objection.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and get Jay in because I think he wanted to comment about what I said. Go ahead, Jay.
Sure. Well, I was going to say, so I've been in two of these situations. One, I've been in the situation where I was crushing really hard on this dude, and I knew that he didn't want to be monogamous, right? And so me knowing that he didn't want to be monogamous, I was willing to also not be monogamous. This is before I even was into the idea of being open, right? So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to jump into this and
Go.
sorry, I just read that. I'm like, I'm gonna give this a shot and see if it works because I care a lot about this guy, right? And there was a
Right.
lot of trial and error. And that's how we figured out what our rules were gonna be, right? And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm actually more into the idea of an open relationship than I thought. It actually helped me unpack some stuff that I thought about relationships, right? But I've also been in a situation where we started off monogamous and then we opened up. And the reason that we opened up was to fix a problem in the relationship. And
And
that is
that's like what Rakia said
so
earlier.
complicated, right? It's so complicated because it's like you shouldn't be opening up the relationship just to fix something. What you should be doing is figuring out what it is that you feel like you're missing, and is this something that you can work on yourself and get your ducks in a row, or is this something where you are willing to be like, you know what, this isn't something that I can provide for you, but I still care about you a lot, and I want you to have this happiness, so you can go get that somewhere else, and we can still stay in our relationship.
Go ahead, Tippy, and then I have a question. Go ahead, Tippy.
When it comes to open relationships, I feel the thing that a lot of people don't do first is make sure they're okay with themselves. You can't be
Mm.
in an open relationship
That's a
if you haven't
message.
done the work for yourself. You have to be secure with yourself. You have to be okay with being alone because that's always going to be a possibility if they're out there doing what they're doing. Because
Woo!
with my person, the reason why he still lied and the reason why he still cheated, it wasn't because he found pleasure in just lying and cheating. It was because he didn't have the emotional intelligence to communicate with me because he was afraid of my
Mm.
reaction.
Ooh,
Ooh, queen. Preach
And
these.
come
Preach
on,
for the
if
come
if
chosen.
on.
we're already talking about these things, you should be able to communicate those things. But emotionally, he wasn't there based on things that happened in his childhood, things that happened in past relationships. He hadn't done the work first. So there was no
Ooh,
reason for us to be opening up our relationship if you hadn't done the work because we were doomed to fail, you know?
That's my cousin, y'all. That's my cousin who just said
That's
that.
my cousin.
I
Can
wanna
we
I
attack
wanna
this?
address. Yeah, I'm for the straight women who would you think your dude is sus or be uncomfortable if
Oh,
he was okay with you bringing another man to the bed? Ladies, that's for y'all
who?
specifically. Would you be cool
Okay,
with it? Boom. Y'all is whole homosexuals. Wait a
no,
second.
no.
We gonna get
First
to
of all,
y'all.
I am a
first of
bi
all, I
pants. You
never
better
said I
not
was homosexual.
misidentify
Thank
me,
you.
sir.
You're a whole queer. That's what he said.
Y'all are whole niggas who do things with dicks. So wait a second.
Oh,
Yikes! Shit.
I need to go get a drink.
You
I
know.
need
Woo. That's what I had to do. I had a refill. I had a refill.
Side note,
Um,
do y'all know how often I've been clocked for saying to people like, "Yo, you a gay man," and it's like, I'm not gay. So I apologize. I don't mean to
no,
like,
no, we're not
you
even. It's
know.
not even serious here. But I think that was just the one comment I wanted to say. Like, there's big bi and pansexual stigma in this damn world. Like,
I
Okay,
there
agree.
there are people
say
who
it.
do
Speak on
not
it.
think it exists. Like I tell you I'm bi, and like, so you're gay. I'm like,
hell, that's
especially as
what
a
I
black
said.
man with family from Jamaica, they won't
But
even believe you. Oh my
I
god.
do think that part of that, if we're being honest, I maybe not so much now, but I remember when I'm 32, so when I was younger, I've always been out of the closet. But what I noticed was guys who are now completely gay, their foray, like to get to gay, they had to go to bi first. Like
Sure.
it was like that was in their
Yeah,
head
I definitely know that.
reachable.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why I don't think people mean to be like, ooh, I don't think bisexuality exists. I think that for a lot of people, their experience in real life with it is guys who just use bi as a layover to Gayville.
Uh huh.
Uh,
But I think it's such an
um,
interesting like arc because I know so many people now, and it kind of blows my mind that they lived like 30, 40 years of their life as a straight man, married to a woman, had kids, and then they leave that relationship to then become gay. But like also because they felt like sheltered in that norm or that they felt comfortable and safe being with a woman and creating that lifestyle because of their family or for whatever reason. So like it's so intense that like some of these people might be bi, but then like the day they say, hey, I actually like men, and then nobody here to view it for them.
fair. Go ahead, Jay, and then we'll go to the girls. I really want to get to that question about bringing other men in the bedroom. Are they sus? Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so I have two things to say. One is answering that question. I know that question was directly,
Yes,
towards
I'm
the women,
sorry.
but I have
No.
an answer to that question
Yes.
because my first open relationship, that's exactly how that went down. My first open relationship, this guy, I should have known that he was ready to break up, and he was clocked out of the relationship when he told me that he was comfortable being open and he wanted to be open, because we broke up maybe a month later after that conversation, right? So it's just like, should I feel comfortable with the idea that he's bringing up this open relationship? I probably shouldn't be. Red flag. Pay attention to the red flag. Oh no, it's fine, babe. Boom, we're done. Right? So like, if that's the question we're asking, I think that that's a question that anybody can answer. I do want to hear it from the straight women in the room. Second thing, when we're talking about like being bisexual and that just being a layover in the Gayville. I
Layover.
sort of
Thank you,
followed.
Delta. Sorry.
I followed that trajectory myself. I said that I was bi, and then I thought that I was gay, and then I realized I was actually bi. Right?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the Kinsey scale?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So
Because
if we want to talk about it,
Jay,
we
we
could talk
share
about
a
the
story.
Kinsey scale, talk about the spectrum. I am more attracted to men than I am to women, but I would not say no to a relationship with a woman. I will not say no to sex
Not
with a
Spirit
woman.
Airlines.
Not Spirit Airlines. We got some money
JetBlue.
around here. Come on.
I'm gonna get
Okay, no.
least.
I'll be honest though. As a Canadian, I'll drive over to Buffalo and then take Spirit everywhere. It's super cheap.
Man,
Yo.
we are getting off topic.
Okay, hold on, Jay. I want to get the girls in because he did ask specifically for the
Do it.
girls. If a guy wanted to bring another guy into the bedroom with you, would you automatically feel like that made him suspect, aka gay, aka not into women?
Answer that first, Tippy.
Tippy, go ahead,
For
girl.
me, no.
You, Tippy.
It also depends on what it is he wants to happen in the bedroom, because different things can happen in the bedroom. Like, do you want
Okay.
to watch this guy fuck me? Are both of y'all trying to fuck me at the same time?
Are you trying to
Are
get
you
pegged?
trying to fuck him as he fucks me? Like, what are you trying to do here? So it all depends on what he
Facts.
wants to
On
do
facts.
with this dude that's in the bedroom with us, because he
I just
may
wanna
not be
watch.
gay. He may be. It all
Ugh.
depends on what happens.
I just wanna
Ricky?
watch.
Out.
I'm sorry.
Golly.
Ricky, we need to hear from you. Ricky, we need to
Okay,
know.
so for me, I think because Jay brought something up that clicked something for me. I think it really depends on at what point in the relationship we're in. So if this is something like you are into and you talk about it from the get go and we agree upon that from the get go, then no, I wouldn't. But if this is like maybe not even several months, years into the relationship, then okay, then we need to have a conversation. What is really the issue here? So why are we at this point? What has led us to this point that you have not told me yet, that I'm not aware of, for you to want to do this thing that's a pretty drastic change in the dynamics of the relationship at this point? Because in this years, you could be moved in, you could have done all this other stuff, y'all got stuff together, but you're trying to change something up like this? Like, what's the problem? So, yes and no. It depends on where you are in that relationship. And
what kind of porn he has been watching.
Right. And so...
We have questions. All right, so
Tippy,
I want
I love you, girl.
challenge you guys on something. And just hear me out. Hear me out. I'm gonna come to y'all. I got you guys. I'm gonna come to y'all.
Challenge.
So earlier, y'all said, a few of you guys said, you don't want to, you can't be someone's everything. And I completely 100% agree with that. You should never look to your partner to fulfill all of your needs. That's why you have friends. That's why you have family. That's why you have hobbies. That's why you have things that don't necessarily involve them. However, if we're specifically talking about open relationships in terms of having other sexual experiences, I feel, because I'm a freak nigga, you shouldn't have to go see nobody else. Like, I'm doing the thing.
I've heard that many times.
And putting I'm doing all the things.
But that's a conversation you need to have in the beginning of the relationship.
The beginning.
I agree. I agree. If your sexual appetite is just, yo, I just need different. I can't do sameness. Even if the sameness is banging, the bussy good, the dick is good,
Come on,
whatever.
Bussy.
I'm a bottom.
No.
I'm a bottom, so
Hmm?
really, there's no dick being exchanged on my end personally. But
Good information to know.
Come on,
Just
big
write that
bottom
on my
energy.
notepad.
let's first of all, bottoms make the gay world go round. Because if bottoms weren't
I
around,
appreciate
y'all niggas,
you.
y'all would just be sword fighting, and that shit can be fun, but it's not the most fun.
I can't.
So
Can't.
I guess my question is, if why do you think people need to seek other forms of sexual gratification outside of their relationship? Like, if the sex isn't bad? Like, if the sex is bad, obviously, but if the sex isn't bad, what makes them want to? Yeah, we'll go to Jay, then DeAndre, then we'll go to the ladies. Actually, no, because I always go to y'all first. I don't mean. I'm gonna go to
Yes.
Tippy, and then Ricky, and then the dudes.
For me, I mean, sex doesn't have to be an emotional thing for some people. Like it is for me, that's why I'm monogamous. My one person I'm having sex with, I wouldn't be with them if they didn't please me sexually. But at the same time, for some people, they could love you fully, wholly, be deeply in love with you, and just still need a different sexual experience. Like, just need something different to get them off, you know? And that's okay with me. Go live your life. Put it in a hole.
Yes,
Do you?
I live for you.
Ricky,
Can you be
Come
my
on.
cousin?
do you have a comment?
Put it on a t-shirt. Let's go.
First of all,
T-shirt.
what y'all not gonna do is take my fucking cousin, okay? Y'all
Too
all
late.
take
Too
my
late.
fucking
Sorry.
cousin.
See,
Paid
listen.
it for you.
You've
Shit.
lost
She's
her.
part of my family now.
Right.
Bitch,
Like,
I ain't
she's in
taking
my
you nowhere
will.
else ever again.
I'm
I've already changed my
for
will.
us right
She's in
now.
She's in my
She's
will.
in
I
the
don't care.
All right, go ahead, Ricky.
Oh my goodness. I forgot your question,
If you
Tristan
don't-
DeAndre.
I mean, we'll go to the dudes. So the dudes was ready.
No, just repeat it real quick. Repeat it real quick.
Okay, so like, if we're strictly speaking about the sex, we're not doing emotional with other people. If the person you're with is they doing the things, the sex is freaky, it's good, then what is the need to go outside of that core sexual relationship?
So that means I need to step out of my actual experience with the open relationship for this one. So, because for me, sex can go either way. So it could be emotional. It could just be what
Just
it
be
is.
physical?
Yeah,
Okay.
it could just what it is, and that really just depends on the person, the relationship, whatever the situation is. So if the sex is good, cool. If there's something else that you are needing that I am not willing to or able to provide, then hopefully at some point we're in a good space for you to feel comfortable enough to talk to me.
Yeah.
And to discuss that. And if
legendary?
and if I'm comfortable with you getting that somewhere else, then that's one thing. If I'm not comfortable with you getting that somewhere else, then I need to be able to have to have that what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot. But I need to have like the full information to be able to make the right decisions for myself to either like take myself out of the situation. So like if what you're getting from me is not enough and I'm not okay with that, then I need
Get
to
the fuck out.
Right. So like I need the full autonomy to be like, okay, this is not okay for me. I need to be able to get out. So
out. Period.
And I mean, like we've been, and the theme is this whole time is it takes a lot of honesty and communication about what you want. Because I'm sorry, I know you want to guys, but like it reminds me of
You're fine.
this Reddit from like years back where this dude thought his girl, he had his girlfriend. Apparently, to him, she wasn't like that attractive, but he decided he wanted to get an open relationship. He thought he was gonna get all the hoes. He thought he was gonna get all the hoes. But he got no hoes. But his girl, who he thought wasn't that cute, was getting all the hoes.
Come on.
Okay.
And he was in his feelings.
I've been into it.
Right, and he was in his feelings about it. Like, he was super upset. And he's like, well, that's what you asked for. But
No offense, I think that's a bad trait though. I think
But
there's a
that's but
certain
that's but
thing
that's
about
you. But
falling in
that's
love
He's
with
got some stuff to
somebody
work
where
on.
you
but
where
like
you like
you're creating the situation out of false pretenses,
yes.
and you're not being honest about yourself and
That
to your
part.
person about what you want, what you're lacking in this relationship.
I'm about to come in the dude, so I just want to say real quick, y'all. Like, I really feel like I'm that girl. Like, I ain't even trying to like talk myself and like be that. But like, yo, we done got these teeth whitened too. Like, you can't tell me shit now. So I really don't be feeling like you don't need to go nowhere. Like, I never say no. Like, legitimately, if you my nigga, it's always yes. Whenever you can wake me up at 3:30 in the morning and I will perform like we are on the VMA stage after quarantine.
Woo!
Let me
Yes.
go to these dudes. I'm gonna come back to you,
No,
Tippy.
no,
Go
run
ahead,
Tippy,
dudes.
run Tippy, run
Tippy,
Tippy.
go ahead.
She's
Because girl, the
fresh.
people love you. Go ahead, girl.
Love
Get your
Tippy.
life.
Okay, so I talk to my friends a lot about this because I've stayed with two polyamorous couples. So I've
I
had a lot of
remember
discussion.
this.
Yes, I've had a lot of discussion about this. And one of my friends, the reason why he had to do things outside of his marriage wasn't because he didn't feel comfortable discussing things with his wife. He didn't feel comfortable doing some of the freaky things he wanted to do to his wife.
Mm,
Mm.
Mm.
He wanted to do
mm.
some things that he felt were just too dirty to do to her. And of course, that had to do with his
Oh,
societal conditioning and everything and how he viewed women. But that also plays a part in some open relationships
can I ask a
because
question?
Oh, good
because sometimes
point,
men put
friend.
women in these different categories, and stuff
Okay.
happens.
So do
I
you
think that's a. Go ahead.
are you aware if like the woman's opinion on those kinky things he wanted to do?
She was not down with it. It
Okay,
was
so
not
that
going to
okay,
happen.
okay, cool, cool, cool.
No.
She was not trying to be hogtied and spit on and all. Like, that was not
Ooh, no
her
rage
Because
play
bag.
for
I
based
don't
on
know.
her.
her societal conditioning, she also felt like a lady doesn't do certain things. Now, me, I'll do anything once.
Yeah.
You know,
The lady
we,
does what she want to do and owns
Tippy!
you know,
it.
you,
Yo,
you got to try everything once just to see.
Freak,
You know,
freak,
Tippy!
freak
Hey!
nasty.
See,
Look,
hey,
me and Tippy
Freak
need to have a hot
nasty.
girl summer. Come on, Tippy.
I know.
Yes.
Let's do this. Let's do
that
this.
is my. If I have any advice for anybody watching this and y'all who are here right
Yes.
now, I just genuinely, if you are in a relationship with somebody, I don't think you, and if it's not out of the question, you shouldn't say no. Like, I think if you're with somebody and that's your partner, part of being with, if I'm with you, I feel like my body is yours and your body is mine. Now, here's the deal: you can't do that with, you can't have that energy with everybody, and you shouldn't be with
Come on.
somebody that you can't trust
That's
your
what
body
safe
with.
words are for.
Okay, I would,
oh,
and
okay, okay. That you
even
know
if you
what?
don't feel, if you don't feel like it, I heard a therapist say, if you, even if you don't feel like having sex, I promise you, just start. Usually within 2 minutes, you definitely be like, yes. And it never fails. If I'm tired and didn't feel like it, give it 2 minutes, and bruh, you be ready. Go ahead, DeAndre.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm trying to process everything I'm thinking. Um.
It's a
Wow.
lot. It's
He
so
didn't
I
know
have
to
much.
throw
so
it
much I
down
want to
It's
there.
so
say.
much, guys. It's so
Say all the
much.
things.
I'm gonna run from where we just are.
You're fine.
So
Yes,
I
Destiny.
think when I'm in love with somebody, that doesn't like that the sex I have with that person, I promise you, is exponential.
Mm.
Now, for me, I don't really hook up, and I also don't share that same intimacy with somebody else I'm just having sex with. So if I'm outside of my open relationship, I probably won't even kiss you, to be honest with you. And for me, like I said earlier, sex does not equate to love for me. So like as like that communication from the beginning, understanding each other, especially because like me, I'm a wayward spirit. I'm so free spirited. The person I'm currently talking to, not in a relationship yet, but it's not exclusive. Um, they know that I like want to move to Edmonton, then move to New York City, then move to London, then move to Tokyo. So like my life isn't going to be able to like settle down with this person, and they understand that. And I told them from jump that like, hey, I've never seen myself as like that monogamous person. So like the for me, like I feel like that relationship I have with somebody is concrete, and my love for this person is devoted, and they take priority over everything. So those communications come first. Like cooking dinner with my bae, sitting down watching a movie, talking about our feelings, going to their family events, interacting like in all those deeper manners. This is specific to that person because of how we feel about each other. And the sex I had outside the relationship, it's accessory, I guess I should say. Especially like once, like if this relationship starts, God forbid, where's some wood? I need to knock it.
Was that
Okay.
Tristan and knocking on wood?
Yeah.
That was not me. That was not me. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm just putting different clothes on, but I'm
Okay.
definitely my
Oh,
AirPods
come on,
are in,
outfit
I'm still
change.
listening.
Right.
Come on,
He
queen.
got somewhere to go. He got
Yes.
somewhere to go.
Okay, so like we've already discussed that, and he's definitely monogamy minded, but he also understands that about me, and he's willing to communicate. And like he just says, if it were to ever come across in the moment, just come to me and tell me at first. Like we had this conversation, and we both said like we both have kingdoms to build, and I mean going to a
Okay,
relationship, we're
kingdom.
gonna
Come
build
on, power
a
couple.
Right.
we're gonna have a foundation
Exactly.
together. But I mean, we don't simply have to be together or in the same place to build those kingdoms. We could branch across the world. And I mean, he's came from the Bahamas on asylum he's only been in Canada for 2 years. So like,
He sounds fine.
he still needs to like adventure. He still wants to explore and understand the world and learn more about himself and get comfortable with himself. So like, that's also a factor. So like when I told him, hey, I'm like moving to Edmonton the second I find a good job out there, he was like, I'd never want to stop that of you. And I understand, like, once you're out there, we won't be together. And if you need that, like, moment with somebody else, I understand. Just be willing to come to me in that moment.
All right, let's go to Jay because I know he had all the things to say. Go ahead, Jay.
Whoo, child.
Come on, bestie.
Oh,
Come on,
okay,
bestie.
so it's my bestie. All right. So first of all, to Tippy's point, with the guy who was like, there's certain things he wanted to do with his partner and things that he couldn't do with his partner. I have found myself in that specific situation where, our relationship started a certain way. It was very cutesy. It was very adorable. Our sex was very like, it wasn't like the freak nasty sex, right? And that's just not the chemistry that I have with him. But that's not to say that's not the kind of sex that I want to have from time to time. But it's not the sex that he wants to have from time to time. So, us being in an open relationship, I can go somewhere else to seek that kind of satisfaction,
Yep.
right? And it is purely based off of the chemistry of our relationship when it started, right? It's totally possible that our relationship could have started with different kinds of sexual energy, right? And I could be doing the freaky stuff with him or the more relaxed stuff with him, but it just so happened that it went the other way, right? So that's number one. Number two, Tristan, God bless you for, being willing to, do whatever whenever your man asks. But I feel like
I'm
that is
fucking.
so
Yeah. No, but
ma'am,
hello. What just happened?
Tristan.
Is everything? Oh, he went mute.
I'm here. Sorry. No, I'm
I
here.
don't know
I'm
what
here.
that was.
My bad. I'm sorry.
I don't
I
know
was
what
on
that
that.
was.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but
okay.
I was too busy laughing what was in the private chat. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm missing drama in the private chat. Hold up.
Okay, because I have
I'm
not
sorry.
been
I
absorbed
had
in
to
the
let it
private
out.
chat.
I had to let it out.
I
That's a lot of
can't.
hair to pull.
All of
Okay.
that.
I
But
cannot.
to your point though, like I said, God bless you for being open and willing to do that. There's a lot of relationships that are just gonna not be in that mood all the time, right? Like you may not have this same sexual energy, right, or the same sexual appetite, right? But that's not to say that you two shouldn't be in a relationship. It just means that you have to have that conversation, realize you have two different appetites, and be able to, figure out how to make that work for you guys because everything else works perfectly fine. It just all comes back down to the point of, one person should not have the responsibility of being everything to you. Oh God, I had so many things I wanted to say.
So many.
Keep
All
going.
things.
When you said, like, oh, I'm a freak, I lay it down, whatever, I'm that bitch. All right, but what if they don't want to have that bitch sex? Like, what if they want to have a different kind of sex that you're not putting down, right? And they're used to the stuff that you like to do and that what you want to do, but they are just not in the mood for that. Are they just supposed to, like not get that satisfaction somewhere? Like,
But if you talk to me, you would know that I'm not that one-dimensional bitch. Damn.
Ooh,
Hey,
I
there's
think-
some one-dimensional
Wait,
bitches.
let me be
There
very
are
clear.
some one-dimensional bitches, though.
I want to
But
be
there
very
are
clear with the
one-dimensional
audience.
bitches,
I do
though.
all
Yeah.
sexes. I do all the kinds of sexes. The
Well,
slow sex.
come on, sexes.
Oh,
I do the slow sexes.
Oh,
the
guys, yo,
fast
outfit
sexes.
change. The reveal. Give us a
he
twirl.
We did,
wants to go
yeah.
Give us
out,
a
I'm gonna,
twirl.
I
He's
would take
about
my
to go see
do-rag
his
off, but I'm
not
not going to
man
get
man.
too
Okay.
no, he's got the black shirt, the
He came
do-rag,
trade.
the
He came back
chains.
trade.
You got a cross. Shit.
2 chains. Okay?
Yo, so
2
low
chains.
key, I have it. So whenever I go out with dudes who are like not gay, I try to look a little less.
See, he's giving
Try to serve
trade.
Yeah,
trade. You try to serve
right,
trade.
just a little. Also, I just really felt like wearing black because
He's versatile.
All right, well, you
Wow,
guys,
Well, he told us he's not, though. He told us he's
I'm not. I'm a whole
so.
bottom.
So
So,
not a verse. It's not a verse, but I'm just saying.
However, I want to be very clear. If my dude wanted me to fuck him like on his birthday and on Christmas, I would be cool with that.
Special
But
occasion.
Oh my gosh.
generally speaking, I'm
So
not
here's-
into. I'm not into dudes who want me to fuck them. That's just not my.
All right, so then here's the question for you then when it comes to open relationships. What if you end up in a relationship with a verse guy who does want, 2 bottom
fuck
and
him.
top, but on
Stop.
a frequent basis though? Are
Can I
you
be
gonna
honest?
do this week over week?
Jay, I have it.
If I really
Okay.
if I really love him and really like him and really want that shit to rock, then yes. Because listen, I mean, can I be Can I be very vulgar for a second? I'm gonna be real vulgar. For a second.
Hold on.
Are we not vulgar?
Tippy.
No.
Tippy. It's time to move. Come on down. Come on,
Right?
Tippy.
She's not
Tippy.
coming.
Come on, Tippy. Come on.
I
It's okay.
don't.
It's gonna
I
be fun.
don't.
What's everybody drinking tonight?
Tequila.
I had tequila.
Oh, tequila.
I told you, she's my family. That's my people.
She's my cousin.
I want to hear what Tristan had to say. Hold up.
Sorry.
I'm
go
gonna say
ahead,
this. I'm gonna go to DeAndre, and then we're gonna have final thoughts. Okay, so this is very X-rated, so y'all please. So while
Hold
I
on,
don't,
let me put that on the banner real quick.
right,
X-rated.
rated. So I am not attracted to men who want me to fuck them. But like when I watch porn, I'll watch porn where like dudes like just play with dildos or themselves, or like girls fucking dudes, or like that kind of thing. Is that strange?
Lance, I gotta go. God.
Not like
Oh, jeez.
weird.
No, I just wasn't ready for it. I didn't think that's what you were
You
going
know,
to say.
you know what? I gotta cancel the show.
I'm sorry, but like Lance's comment just
Yo,
killed me. I'm dead.
Lance, you're
I'm
saying that
dead.
he went Wonder Woman on you? Like, what are you saying?
Sorry.
sorry.
I said it was vulgar.
Oh my god.
So on
Okay.
that note, because I just shook the table, we're gonna do final thoughts.
Oh my.
Oh, wait,
I'm-
wait. I have something.
We're gonna go to DeAndre first. These are the things to say. So
Okay.
put it all together in your final thoughts and whatever you want to say.
But so for those of you that are going to be listening, because there's folks that actually do listen to the show, surprisingly, but Lance said, I can't.
Oh, Jesus.
He said, Tristan just Sailor Moon transformed into a top, and I cannot. I cannot.
I am raptured.
I am dead.
I am
This is-
raptured.
This is
Oh my
Ghost
God.
Ricky Z right now. that you are
Bury me
speaking to.
today.
I
Bury
am
me
dead.
today.
I cannot.
Get the
I
shovel.
don't-
Bury me today.
I don't know. I am so sorry, and we will go into some form of commercial break like right now.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I need to get my
Yeah, hit that commercial break and then we'll come back for final thoughts.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I didn't get to watch the movie because I went to watch it today and they took it off HBO Max.
Right.
What is that about?
It's crazy because you know what's funny? The universe is teasing me because I got HBO Max specifically to watch Wonder
I
Woman
remember that.
84. Specifically to watch Wonder Woman 84. And then when I finally sat down to watch it, it wasn't on HBO Max. So today when I go to see whether Mortal Kombat is on there, Mortal Kombat is not there, but guess what's now back on HBO?
I was about to say because it's on there.
Now Wonder Woman 84,
Mhm.
the universe is like,
We're trying to recover, y'all. We're trying. I guess I just said too much, shook the table, all the things are the things. But whatever. No shame. No shame. Like I
Let it
listen.
out. Let it out. We are
First of all,
family.
that's
Let it
not even
out.
that, and that legitimately is not even like a weird, like in the world of porn, that ain't even like that strange. But whatever. So final thoughts. This has been a first of all, so this has been a lovely panel and a lovely evening. I've had a great
One of the
time.
best nights I've had.
My
You guys have been
goodness.
lovely. First of all this melanin on the screen, these handsome men, these beautiful women, I can't take it. All right, so we're gonna start with DeAndre because I know you had something you want to say. We'll go with you first for final thoughts.
All right, I'll run it. So majorly, I think that freaky aspect is like a big thing in my previous relationship. Like I told you guys before, before I was never willing to bottom for my partner, and it was just because like I had tried it, I wasn't into it, and I morally, as time went on, like when I was dating Lance, I felt this connection with him where I was ready to bust it wide open for the man. Like I was on the hands and knees and I said, tonight's the night. It's Valentine's Day. I douched.
Wow.
And like I was willing for that moment. It didn't happen. But that's another story. Whatever.
But you were willing.
Now in my current relationship, I am basically versed right now. Like, the person I am seeing, I have gave it up. Girl, I was up in the morning after a long night of
Yes.
drinking and weed. I was like, you ready? And it's been two occurrences where I'm like, even though it's not like my thing particularly, I enjoy giving it to this person. I have this feeling where I enjoy pleasuring that person I feel for. That was a major thing because if you want to talk about glizzy gladiators, Lance could tell you about me. Yeah. Woo!
I'll
Baby
listen.
Jesus. Sweet baby
Yes.
Jesus. Oh my God.
All right. Listen, we've gotten spicy this last little bit. All right,
Super
Jay,
spicy.
final thoughts, open relationships, bottoming, topping, whatever you want, bro. Go for it.
Final thoughts, open relationships. Obviously, I'm all for them. It's all about communication. It's all about honesty and trust. It's all about, you wanting your partner to be happy, whether that is finding, that sexual experience specifically with you or allowing them to do what they need to do because you're not in the mood. You know, it's at the end of the day, I want my partner to be happy. I know he wants me to be happy. And so we talk about it. And that's that. It doesn't need to be anything any deeper than that.
All
That's it.
right,
That's all I got for you.
vibes. Next we're gonna go to Tippy, the new star of the evening. Yes.
I can't wait to see her on the red
Pop off.
carpet.
Yes.
I just want to say that I agree with open relationships. I believe they can be enlightening experiences when done correctly, but if done incorrectly, they can be very damaging. So it's just very important
Boom.
to have open communication and honesty and make sure you go into it with both eyes open.
Can you
Vibes.
write a book, please? Because I'm going to read it.
Yo,
I'm
listen.
pre-ordering right now.
Sis,
Get her
you-
What
Audible
is,
too, 'cause I
start your
listen to
small
you.
business. I will be the first purchase.
Right.
Second.
Thank you, friends.
Sis preaches the word of God. All right, Ricky, final thoughts.
I agree with everybody. It really boils down to like honesty and communication, and if you are doing this with the right intentions, which sounds weird to say, like I'm having an open relationship with the right intentions. Like your intentions are you're initiating this open relationship because this is something that you want for you, and that's something that you agreed upon with your partner.
Yes.
And that's okay with the partner, not as something as for you to do your dirt and not have to feel guilty about it. But that, like I said, and like we've all said, it takes communication and honesty, which is necessary for all relationships, any type of relationship that you may have with anyone. So just because you might feel like you are being a freaky deek with an open relationship, don't mean it doesn't still have to fall under the same guidelines as any other relationship, because simple
Rules
simple
and boundaries.
rules and boundaries, like that's the basic, that's the bare minimum for relationships in general.
Right.
So
Facts.
those are my final thoughts.
So first off, thanks everyone for being a part of the panel. This has been awesome. I've had a very, very good time. I've told way too much of my business, but whatever.
Me too.
I'm with you.
Yo, follow me on IG at Tristan Daniels. Also follow Whoa Nelly Media on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube land. Final thoughts on open relationships. Obviously, like I said, I'm not personally wanting to participate in one, but I
And
don't
that
think
is
they're a bad.
valid.
I don't
And
think
that's
they're a bad
okay.
thing. Yeah, I don't think they're a bad thing. Again, like you guys all said, it's all about communication. And at the end of the day, you have to find someone who wants the same kind of relationship that you want. Whether it
Yep.
be open, whether it be monogamous, whether it be exciting, whether it be boring, whatever. You have to find somebody who meets the needs that you find the most important and that you can build a life with. So if that means you find someone who's into open relationships, then you go on and do that. Well, we appreciate everybody watching. Same time next week, 8 o'clock sharp,
I might see you
Thursdays.
there.
Okay, listen, if this was it again, I would not mind. But
Listen.
y'all have a good night and thanks for tuning in.